Yes or no? Yes, no feed. France to consider state of emergency to prevent riots after yellow vest protest. The French government is to consider imposing a state of emergency to prevent riots, government spokesman Benjamin Griveaux said on Sunday, following the arrest the day before of more than 400 people when a yellow vest protest turned violent. We have to think about the measures that can be taken so that these incidents don't happen again, Griveaux told Europe 1 Radio on Sunday morning. When asked whether a state of emergency could be imposed, Griveaux replied, "Every options will be examined." Quote, guerrilla warfare. This comes after a dozen cars were set on fire, buildings were torched, tear gas was fired and water cannons were deployed in the French capital on Saturday in scenes reminiscent of guerrilla warfare. The heavy clashes started shortly before 9 o'clock Central Europe time on the Place de l'Étoile, at the foot of the Arc de Triomphe, when groups of people tried to force their way through a police checkpoint set up to prevent a planned, yellow vest protest from turning violent, like it had the previous week. The situation escalated quickly with some of the 1,500 protesters ripping cobblestones out of the paved road to throw at police officers. Protesters, who chanted for Macron to resign, also sat down under the arc, a significant symbol of the French Republic, to sing the national anthem. Police wrestled control of the area shortly after lunchtime, but groups of men then roamed central Paris, leaving wrecked cars and destruction behind them. Overall 412 people were arrested and 133 were wounded, including 23 law enforcement officers. According to the Ministry of Interior, firefighters dealt with 190 blazes, including 6 buildings which were set on fire. Authorities blamed the violence on thugs, as well as far-right and far-left groups. Let's be responsible. Meanwhile, dozens of peaceful protests got underway throughout the country. The Citizen, Yellow Vest movement wants Macron to reverse his decision to increase taxes on fuel. The nationwide protest has been ongoing for more than 2 weeks, with protesters setting up roadblockages to significantly slow down traffic and the delivery of goods. Discussions between the authorities and the Yellow Vest protesters have been difficult because the Citizen movement is not affiliated to any political group or union and has no leadership structure. For yes or no? Yes, no feed.